It's a world of difference. Obviously, we didn't have in-person worship last year.
Right now at 6, Easter celebrations are back in the age of the pandemic. See how worshipers and families celebrated Easter COVID style.
It's tremendously exciting for me.
Florida springing forward, expanding eligibility to every adult in the state. What it means to people trying to get life back to normal. And she was sworn to protect and serve, and now she's locked up herself. What this DeSoto County deputy is accused of doing while off duty.
You count on NBC2 News at 6.
As we move into the heart of the dry season, there are things that we can do right now to protect our homes from brush fires.
If you live in an area where you're near, where there's a vacant lot next to you with heavy brush, make sure that it doesn't come, there's a 10, 20-foot buffer.
Fire Chief Davis also saying that just watering your grass can actually make a huge difference for brush fires. He said that healthy green grass can actually stop fires in their tracks. Well, Easter celebrations are back after being canceled last year due to the pandemic. The 77th annual Dunbar Easter Parade made its way through the streets once again. The fun, all COVID safe, of course. NBC2's Chandler Blackman was on the parade route today, checking out how people celebrated safely.
The Dunbar Easter Parade is a staple for this community. After being canceled last year because of COVID-19, some say it's exciting to pick this tradition back up. Thousands of people gathered to celebrate a local tradition, the 75th annual Dunbar Easter Parade.
It was started by Evelyn Sams Kennedy. She wanted an opportunity to have a parade in Fort Myers that the local African-American residents felt respected and that they wanted to be a part of.
Byrd and Mayor Anderson both agreed.
It wasn't just the parades and Easter festivities today. Churches across our area were able to worship after COVID-19 shut them down last year. Worshipers at First United Methodist Church in Punta Gorda held their service outside the Gilchrist Park, complete with social distancing and COVID precautions. Pastor Mike Lomas says that this Easter looks a lot different, but it is worth it.
It's a world of difference. Obviously, we didn't have in-person worship last year. We actually recorded on the shores of the Peace River on the other side of the river last year, but it was 3 or 4 of us. And that.
A DeSoto County deputy is facing other side of the law. Officials say that Deputy Nashina Richardson was arrested after a domestic disturbance this morning. The sheriff's office says that Richardson was off duty when this incident happened. Sheriff Potter says that Richardson has been fired. She's facing aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery charge. Lee County deputies need your help in finding a missing man. Take a good look at your screen. The officials say that this guy, Wisdell Torres Jr., was last seen Saturday at his home on Karen Avenue in Lehigh Acres. Deputies say that Torres has been making threats to harm himself and others. If you see him or know where he might be, call the sheriff's office or call Crime Stoppers. It's been a long road to get to now, but starting tomorrow, any adult in the state will be eligible to get the COVID-19 vaccine. The process started way back in December, with only seniors 65 and older eligible. 2.5 months later, Governor DeSantis dropped eligibility 5 years, and then we got off to the races. Eligibility expanded every week until now. One important note, while Moderna vaccines are only approved for people 18 and older, the FDA says that anyone 16 and up can get the Pfizer shot. We did check with the state just to make sure that people 16 and 17 can get the shot if they want. Officials say that they will be eligible starting tomorrow as well. Well, more than 1,100 COVID vaccine appointments are available right now throughout the state in Southwest Florida. These are at Walgreens in our major cities: Fort Myers, Cape Coral, Naples, Immokalee, Port Charlotte, Clewiston, and more. The appointments run through Friday, so log on and grab your spot now. We have the link to the booking site on our website under VaxFax. Tomorrow is the first day that any adult will be eligible for the shot at Publix. Booking for appointments is on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. They'll be open tomorrow at 7 in the morning. This is for the Moderna vaccine, so second dose is required. Florida is marching its way towards the so-called herd immunity. Right now, about 30% of the state's entire population is at least partially protected against COVID-19 with a one-dose shot. At 17.5%, Floridians are protected. Remember, 75 to 80% of vaccinated need to be reached for herd immunity. DeSoto County is offering free COVID-19 testing tomorrow. The company Curative is running the site at the Turner Center in Arcadia. You can walk up from 8 in the morning till 6 at night. Reservations are available but not required. No doctor's note is needed, and testing will also be available Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. NBC2 is actually tracking coronavirus cases in real time. The Florida Department of Health just reported nearly 480 new infections today. 22 deaths were also confirmed. And zooming in locally, 326 new cases have been reported in our 6 counties. Luckily, no deaths are being reported. That all-important positivity rate jumping just a little bit today, back at 7%.
All new tonight at 6.
Shots fired while kids were just feet away. What police say a mother in Collier County did moments after pulling the trigger. Plus, mounds of waste piling up in Cape Coral. When the city will discuss what comes next as the problems keep growing. A 51-year-old motorcyclist is dead after crashing into an SUV earlier this morning. This happened along US 41 near Island Vista Drive. Florida Highway Patrol says an SUV tried to turn onto North Cleveland Avenue in front of the motorcycle. The biker tried to swerve, but unfortunately lost control and was thrown from the bike. Troopers say that he died at the scene. FHP is investigating the crash. Glenn Aiken will be back in court tomorrow for case management conference. Aiken is charged with robbery and possession of bulletproof vests during certain offenses. Officials say that Aiken robbed the Midwest Bank late last year, all to get money to buy tires for a woman that he was trying to have an affair with. He got away with $960 in cash. Aiken has admitted to the crimes. Still to come, creating chaos inside a Collier County mall. What deputies say this guy did once they got him outside that landed him in even more hot water. From your Collier County news team, a chaotic scene inside the Coastland Center Mall in Naples. Police say that this guy, Peterson Bienemy, and 2 other guys were standing on clothing displays and started yelling in the store. When police told the 3 suspects to leave, they refused and started screaming at officers and customers. Once the men left, officers say that Peterson cursed at officers and refused to give his ID, at one point even calling the officer a racist. Peterson was put in cuffs and arrested for trespassing and other charges. Cape Coral City Council will hold a special meeting this week to discuss trash collection done by Waste Pro. NBC2 has been following this story for weeks now. The company says that an industry-wide shortage of qualified commercial drivers is affecting their ability to pick up your trash. This is especially a problem for bulk items and yard waste collection.
We're working on it. We are committed to our communities here in Lee County and throughout all of Florida and the rest of our footprint. We want to do the right thing. This is an industry-wide, nationwide issue.
Waste Pro says that they've hired a third-party contractor to help with the day-to-day pickup, but they didn't say how many. City Council says that they will dish out fines and other penalties if needed. Count on NBC2 to let you know what is decided. Fort Myers Beach City Council is set to discuss rezoning near Beach Elementary School. The proposal is for a patch of land off of Estero Boulevard and School Street. City leaders are discussing an ordinance that would change the current zoning rules and allow the property to be used as a hotel, resort, restaurant, or store. Alcohol and amplified music would be allowed under the new plan. That's not all City Council is discussing. Council will vote on an ordinance to reduce the amount of light that's getting into the sea turtle nesting habitats. Too much light can cause baby sea turtles to crawl in away from the Gulf, lowering their chances of survival. City Council meets tomorrow at 9 and count on NBC2 to let you know what Council decides. Looking for a free meal? St. Matthew's House is holding 2 food distributions tomorrow evening. The first is at St. Elizabeth Birch Church in Naples, and you can show up between 10:30 and 12:30. St. Matthew's House is also opening a new location at the Naples Alliance Church on Estee Avenue. That site is open from 10:30 to noon. Lee Health needs 800 units of blood a week to help save lives in our community, and you can help by keeping their supply levels stocked. The Blood Mobile is making 3 stops tomorrow for blood donations. The first is at Chapel by the Sea Presbyterian Church on Fort Myers Beach from 9 to noon. On the mainland, you can donate at Lee Physicians Group Cardiology from 2 to 4 in the afternoon, and the Grover's RV Resort from 1 to 5. And as the days goes by, FGU star sophomore Kirsten Bell continues to add to her resume. And the college basketball season may be on the verge of ending, but I'll tell you why here in Southwest Florida, you can't wait until next season.
It's on our campus. at our college and in our city, and that's beautiful for us.
If you're a basketball fan in Southwest Florida and you have plans for Thanksgiving, cancel them, because the Fort Myers Tip-Off just released its field for the next season's opening tournament. Gator fans, you'll have to pay attention. We've got Florida, Ohio State, Seton Hall, and Cal all coming to FSW. You know it's bound to be a fun time when Ohio State and Florida play. Plus, you hope by then stadiums and arenas will be back to 100% capacity. This is the 4th year in a row that the Fort Myers Tip-Off has been held at the campus off FSW, and the Buccaneers athletic director, George Sanders, knows that what it's like having schools like Florida and Ohio State come to his campus could mean for the school.
The best part about that is that they haven't come to the building yet, and they live in the area, and they're going to come in the building and they're going to say, hey, let's go watch a college basketball game, and that's a pretty good place to go watch a college basketball game, and our men's and women's programs are going to reap the benefits of that.
Should be a great tournament. Let's not forget that the Fort Myers Tip-Off begins with Kansas and Gonzaga on Thanksgiving Day in 2020. I wonder what would have happened had that Gonzaga team.
Gonzaga has time to do something. Suggs for the win. Oh, yes!
I could watch that play on repeat all day. And who am I kidding? I already have been. Jalen Suggs sending the Gonzaga Bulldogs to the national championship with this game-beating overtime buzzer beater to send UCLA home last night in Indianapolis. After this year in sports, we've all endured a tough time, and sports fans everywhere deserve this one.
That is something that you practice, you know, on your mini hoop as a kid or in the gym, just messing around, and to be able to do that, it's crazy.
At the end of it, you could tell how both staffs and all the players reacted, that it was an all-timer.
So now that the national championship is set and it's about to be a track meet, Baylor and Gonzaga, 2 #1 seeds Monday night in the Indy Championship. Speaking of championship-level talent, look no further than FGCU's Kirsten Bell. Wednesday, the sophomore transfer from Ohio State picked up yet another award, being named the Becky Hammon Mid-Major Player of the Year. And yesterday, Bell was named Honorable Mention All-American by the Women's Basketball College Association. Bell averaged north of 24 points and 10 rebounds a game. With stats like that, you can understand how Bell continued to pick up the awards.
She's just made such tremendous strides this year as a basketball player that, you know, we're just hopeful that she can continue to make that type of improvement going forward. You know, I think she was one of the best players in the nation, regardless, mid-major, BCS.
Meanwhile, the rich are just getting richer at FGCU. The Eagles signing junior guard Kayla Webb. Webb led Detroit Mercy in scoring this winter with around 18 points per game. If you're going to Alico Arena next year, bring an umbrella because the threes will be raining down apparently.
And you get into the rhythm. And Zunino with the drive out to left. Gotta you like that.
Yeah, you can kiss that puppy goodbye. 3 games into the season, and Mariner High School alum Mike Zunino is already doing a little yard work this season, hitting this absolutely towering shot against the Marlins yesterday. Unfortunately, Zunino and the Mariners, the Rays came up on the losing end 12-7.
Is that a cat or what is that thing?
It's a kitty.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Confirmed that kitty has wheels. 20 years later, while the world is still wondering who let the dogs out, I think it's time to start asking who let the cat out. Friday, Denver, this furry friend got loose on Coors Field. While it was eventually captured by stadium staff, the cat then re-escaped, so no word yet on where this Coors Field cat is. That's all we have for tonight's show. Thank you so much for tuning in.